Thanks so much for sticking with us for this final segment of Broncos Beat. While the Broncos have been officially eliminated from playoff contention, there is still plenty to play for throughout these final two games. Pride, of course, but for many of the guys, they're playing for their jobs. Drew Lock is still compiling his audition tape for his end of season review. So what does he need to put on film this Sunday at SoFi in order to keep the faith of the Broncos front office and coaching staff?
Well, I mean, you get comparison shopping here. I mean, he has to face the Bills and Josh Allen, and then the week after he faces the rookie quarterback who's having a spectacular season in Justin Herbert. So, you've got that hanging over you. But, I think, Cecil and Ryan touched on it earlier. You've got to see composure. You've got to see a willingness to at least repair some things that haven't gone right. Doesn't mean you got to fix everything in 4 days, but you do have to show that there was a willingness to understand what you need to do. And his season would be epically better if he would just simply make the consistent, easy throws over and over again, and then he'll get the downfield ball he desperately wants. But you have to be willing to be consistent and take the easy ones off the table. And when you do that, he will see a whole world open to him down the field.
I think also, no matter what, everybody knows, Cecil, Leggy, and myself, there's going to be competition in that quarterback room. Now, whether Drew Lock thinks he can play his way out of that, it doesn't matter. You have to get competition in that quarterback room. There's maybe three other quarterbacks who have no competition. It's Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Patrick Mahomes. Drew Lock does not fit in that category. He's had nobody to push him, nobody to help him see the offense differently, and that has to change no matter how he performs moving forward into next year.
Yeah, so put some good stuff on film, because next year we will see competition in that quarterback room, in my opinion. And I agree with you, Ryan. I think it'd be great. You want to save Lock? Well, push Lock. See what he can do. Be consistent. Take the easy money. Don't play hero ball. And I know you're against Justin Herbert, but don't think about it. You're not going to look like Justin Herbert. Not yet. So you've got to do what you can do. I want to see Lock be a game manager. And how about 0 turnovers? Fingers crossed. 0 turnovers from Drew Lock. That'd be a nice start.
Well, things are going to be challenging for him this week. He's going up against the former Bronco turned Charger, Chris Harris Jr. He's coming off his best game since returning from a foot injury, 5 tackles, 1 pass defended, and a 51-yard pick. You guys, this week is going to be the first time Denver's offense goes up against Chris Harris Jr. I think Strap Harris might be out to prove something. What do you guys think?
I know Strap, man, and I tell you what, Drew Lock's not ready for the amount of conversation that will be had during the game. And that's one of the things I love about Chris Harris Jr. He's going to let the quarterback and offensive line know. I mean, he was the first in practice. Said, Chris, I'm an offensive lineman. You're not covering me. He's like, but I could, and things like that will make him so great.
Here's a guy that will talk a big game and back it up. So you better believe that when the Broncos are kind of down, that Chris Harris Jr. would love nothing more than to knock him out.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you my favorite Chris Harris story. On the second day of training camp, his rookie year, Champ Bailey walked up to me and said, I just want you to know that kid's going to be here longer than I will be. And then he walked in the locker room. So Chris Harris Jr.
Wow. Okay, you guys, we all know the matchup between Justin Herbert and Drew Lock, but what's another key matchup that we should really keep an eye on for this week?
I think the offensive line against the pass rush for the Chargers is going to be a big deal. You can't have Drew Lock improve if he's on his back. So it's going to be one of the biggest tests for the offensive line this year.
Austin Eckler, there's a Colorado back. Eaton, Colorado, what's up? Got to watch out for him on those Texas routes. The Broncos linebackers struggle in coverage, and if they wanted to hit him over the head with Austin Eckler, it would work.
Got to vary things on defense, Herbert's having a great year, but he's still a rookie, and he can't change that part yet. But they've got to vary some things and give him some different things to look at, because if you let him stand there and just wing it, it will be a long day.
Cease, what's the number one adjustment that this Denver defense needs to make this week after struggling to contain Josh Allen and the Bills?
Yeah, struggling to contain Josh Allen, and now you're facing a banged-up wide receiver core. So the adjustment to me is getting pressure on the quarterback. Justin Herbert, somewhat robotic in what he does. That's a good and a bad thing. So try to get him off of his programming, get that pressure, build the pressure, swarm around the young QB, and see what you can get.
All right. Well, sadly, that is all the time we have for this week's edition of Broncos Beat. For Jeff Legwold, Ryan Harris, and Cecil Lammey, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays to you and yours. We will see you next Monday for another edition of Broncos Beat.